Hey y'all, this is Jeff. Jeff Vegetable Gardening in Containers. Um, Still just up here, I'm doing a couple of my marigolds. I was thinking in my last video I couldn't think of the yellow flowers I put in, but marigolds, if you get a chance, put them in your garden. They're a great thing. They keep a lot of bugs and animals and stuff cannot stand marigolds. What I got here is this green string here for trellising. I'm gonna move his camera a little bit, boys and girls. I'm just, you don't have somebody like an assistant, it's a pain in the you know what. Keep it where you want it. So, you see I got the 4 up and down ones going to these 4 cucumber plants in these buckets right below me here right now. So, what I have to do is I have to get some cross members going here. So, first thing I want to do is start at one end. I'm just going to weave it back and forth between each one, in and out, in and out. And I got to find a start point, which I'm going to start down here. Probably, I would say, maybe 4 or 5 inches above this last plane here. And I got this string here, and I got to get fat fingers around here. And I'm going to tie a navy knot, loop a navy knot in here. And once I get it done, never get arthritis in your fingers because it really stinks. They're never the same. So what I did was I got that string through there for now. And what I would normally use would be tie ties on something like this. To tighten this string up and do everything I'm doing, but let's call me a little bit lazier gardener today, and just got over being pretty going sick. So my big thing is just getting this end done. I'll get some lines going the other way on these things so they go out this way. Then I can work the cucumbers around. So now that I want to wrap a couple times. Oh boy. Here's what happens when you get in a hurry. Hold on, guys. So I got one straight line going down the bottom. And what I want to do is wrap around this pole here quite a few times. Get me a tightening spot. That rope to go right there. Okay. So I'm going to get that in there. That's pretty good with what I got there. I'm pretty happy with that. It's not coming the way I want it to come. Sometimes right now it's nice and tight. Now it's wrapping in between all the different wires. So I'm going to go up the pole just a hair here. Okay. This is up tight. Now I'm going to wrap it a couple more times. I'm actually going to come around here and normally, like I said, use tie ties, but I'm going to use some electrical tape this way, and then I want to be on the opposite side of the wire this time. Like this one's taking this wire and this plant this way, kind of. The wire's on the rope's on the other side, the string. Now I'm going to go on the opposite side of it this way, and back around, and then through, and then I also have to get this through this side a couple times. Obviously didn't think through too well at first because I was trying to get the fence in the garden all set up. So you can see there's 2 lines going across there now. It gives something to push and grind on them. When I tape it, it'll make it all tighter going through there. I'm going to come up here a little bit higher. I'm going to wrap it through a couple times up here. Okay, now same thing here, opposite side of the wire going through. Opposite side of that one, it was just down there. Same thing opposite here. Okay. Opposite here. All right, we're still going good. Then we're going to wrap her. Let me get that a little bit over there. wrap it a couple times just to get it secure. Then we're going to move up a little bit. Don't worry, I didn't forget about taping, guys. I'm just trying to keep it moving when I've got a chance. We're going to do the same thing here. We're going to go opposite of where the string is, right below, across these wires going up and down, right? We're going to go across here, right? Come right across here. We'll pull it tight again. We're just going to keep working it. What I do is just keep circling around this pole. And then bring it up and start another point, which, like I said before, I'll take off. And we're going to make a little bundle up here around this one area, okay? So we keep kind of our 6-inch spacing. And we're going to come right through here one more time. I'm going to go through here, opposite. So all you do is look at a rope below, okay, or string below, and we're going to come through. You see, if I turn it this way a little bit, right? Once I bring it over here, once we're around that 6-7 inches or whatever, put a little tension on it. And I'm just going to wrap it around here a couple times, cross each other and around each other, all that good stuff. Just to keep some tension on it for now. Right there, I'm going to go up here and not have it formed yet. Just grab a hold of it a little bit, and we're going to grab a hold up there, opposite side, right back, and over, back. I don't know anything about knitting or sewing, but I'm guessing something like this. So, we have that string in, and we're going to tighten this piece. Sorry guys, don't have my cameraman. Let me move you back over here again. You see we're cross doing this piece right here up and around it. And then we're going to move ourselves up. I'm actually going to loop up here this time, even though I don't need to, because I want to get a little base plate up here started. And then that PVC on the top, we want to be on the other side of this one to make it opposite, right? And then we're going to be opposite, and this one will be behind here, okay? And then we're going to be on top of this one. And then we're going to be on here. Okay? And I'm going to try to hopefully get sick of saying the same thing over and over 40 times to you. Alright? And grab a hold of this string. So, here we go with the old hand flip of the camera again. And what I'm going to do is take this and just run a little navy knot around this pole. Pop her up around there and through. Tighten her down, up, around, boop, through the bottom. Secure it again. Alright. Get her one more time through there. While we have the rope, maybe wrap it around there once or twice more. And one more knot in there. Alright, so if you look, we're almost, except for this one's a little stretched the wrong way, but hey, not bad for freehand. This one's got to come up. So we're just about, there's our buckets on these, you can see these. And then these are the cross pieces. So what this allows us to do is just row us at once and just keep following this up so it's trellis. And the problem I've had with, whenever I grew cucumbers before was really, what's the right word to say? Nothing. And I always grew them in buckets or in containers and had a lot of success with them. And the thing about cucumbers is, you see I'm just taping this rope off, keeping it from moving here. Once I had it set up there on these little flips and poles that are in this thing. Once you get them growing in a bucket or a container or above ground boxes like I had before and everything, they would grow great. But for some reason, not just me, but zucchinis, squash. I mean, yes, I've gotten zucchini, squash, and cucumbers, but all those type of things in this mid-Atlantic area over the last few years have struggled. And it's not only me, a lot of people I talk to in their garden say, have you found this? Have you found that? And what's weird is and I really attribute it a lot to the weather changes and how quickly it happens in this area from time to time and different things. I honestly do. But what ends up happening is you're going along just like kicking tail on everything, and everything looks good. You got the yellow blossoms, and you can individually fertilize each one and do all your good stuff. Like, here we go, time for cucumbers. And what I used to say was, oh my gosh, what am I gonna do with all these freaking cucumbers? So what I'd end up doing is late summer, or whenever they come in massive amounts, which is typically late June through mid-July, I would come through and pick, and everybody said, oh, I love cucumbers, and I would hand them out, take them to work. It's a fault of mine, I just like to grow, and I don't eat cucumbers. I do eat cucumbers, but in a pickled stabs. I mean, dill pickles, gherkin pickles, all that kind of stuff, sweet pickles. I do like them that big. A regular cucumber I have no desire for. I've tried them, and they just don't do it for me. So I say I'm a pickle guy. But anyway, that happens if I buy them in a jar at the store, or I have some cucumber left over, which is often the fact, because you can't freeze a cucumber because it just goes to mush. So I end up getting up to my refrigerator at a certain time in the summer, and I just keep bringing in boatloads. And when cucumbers start coming in, if you're really growing them good, and they really start coming in, there's no stopping that process. I can tell you that right now. They just, I mean, you can kill the bushes if you wanted to, I guess, but I mean, in honesty, cucumbers are like, until they die off or something happens to them, cucumbers just grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and grow and don't want to stop. So that's when I got into the big thing with pickles. And then I started the same thing with peppers and pickles. I started making pepper jellies, pickles, you name it, just to use the stuff up. And then I found out that, not knowing it because I'm not into it, yeah, I can cook like anybody else, but I'm not into looking at cookbooks or something like that. I found out that a lot of people are into wondering what to do with some of this stuff and how to do it. And to be honest with you, I was one of them. So what I did, it's getting huge. And it's just making a life of its own right there, that one cucumber. So now I can say I'm happy with that. And earlier on tonight, I got all the brassicas, whatever you want to call them, out of the garden. Got them all washed off, up at the sink, drying off, and I'm just waiting to bag them up. Now I can bag them up, but we'll go from there. But you can see the string on it now, but you can see the cucumbers are all growing up that one center string right now. Now I got the cross strings all the way across the whole thing. You do it by yourself, it ain't perfect, but nothing's perfect. From the grower to the seeds to anything, that's what makes it great. And what they'll do is they'll just keep growing and working their way back and forth up each string and grabbing and going crazy, and we'll just have cucumber galore. Once they get up about another, that big one I might be able to do, I might do it next week. Towards the end of next week, you cut out just like tomatoes, cut the bottom leaves off near the ground. So when you're watering, you're doing anything, you don't get any disease up through the plant. Once these things take off, they just go up there. And if you keep them growing, and just like in the baskets, they start growing in the baskets, they're amazing. In the tomato baskets, and they just go crazy. You start growing them, then they just overcome the baskets, they become bushes. And once it sees a little bit of the wrong water or something doesn't work out right, and they get a little disease or something in them, they're gone. And then once the hot weather, real hot weather hits, the yellow flowers come out, they'll bloom, they'll make cucumbers for like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and all of a sudden, around here, that superior humid hot weather hits them, and they're dead. And then you try to water them, you try to do everything you can to bring them back, and then you find out over time, you're not going to bring them back, no matter what you do. So what you end up doing is just like cauliflower and broccoli when it hits its time, and you cut off what you can, you use what you can. You get rid of the plant, use something else, which is a warmer weather vegetable in that pot for now. Another type of melon or a cucumber or whatever. At that time, it's warmer weather, you put in there for like fall cucumbers or different things that you can start at the beginning of August, mid-August, and you'll still get production out of them. And you just keep using the buckets that way, and then you're still producing something here and there. But don't let them fool you when something's going. It's not like a tree or something like that. Once your vegetables get a disease in them or something's going wrong or it hits part of your garden, whatever it's near, if it's your, like if I'm over here in this other part of the garden, like tomatoes, potatoes and tomatoes don't get too affected by that kind of stuff. Either there's corn, but these squashes and stuff, they're doing great. But once they start to get that milky mildew on them or start to get problems on them and the weather gets to be a certain way and they start changing, it'll hit from one plant to the other plant. Before you know it, you'll have it all over the garden. And it's tough. It doesn't affect the peppers. I've never seen it affect the peppers. It'll affect the eggplant a little bit, but mainly the eggplant is affected by really hot weather. Hot weather. Even though it likes hot weather, it likes 85 to 90, and it grows great. But you get above 90, 95, the eggplant just, it suffers. So sometimes it'll look real terrible, and I'll keep up with the watering as best as I can during the summer, and then once it gets to a point, I just give up on it a little bit, keep it trimmed and watered, and then once it cools down a little bit, get back to the mid-80s again, I can normally prune because you can't overwinter them like tomatoes and peppers. You can normally prune them back and get some kind of production off your eggplant. But if you're going to get eggplant production here, it's going to be in mid-July to early August. But once you get to the dog days of summer, end of July and August, your production generally around here is going to be corn, squashes, melons, stuff like that. Everything else kind of goes right down the tube, and stuff will come back in the fall. Some of it will come back in the fall, some of it won't. But August is a very tough month around here because normally it's very dry, and no matter how much you water and it's hot, humid, just doesn't do it. And then September comes around, you get a little bit of break, and then you start to grow some more. But you will get tomatoes by the gazillions in hot weather around here. I mean, tomatoes will just go absolutely crazy. You'll be bringing in buckets up every night. And then your melons and stuff will all start coming in during that hot weather too. And you just got to keep an eye on them because you can lose your melons like quick. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to let you guys want to go over getting that finished for those cucumbers, for that trellis. And I'm going to make a trellis for my tomatoes too because I got so many. I just haven't had a chance yet. And everybody be careful out there because my family, the whole group, from the grandkids to my wife to my daughter to me, and anybody who was in our area, are visiting in between us over the last 2 weeks, all got this stomach flu, and I was down for 2 days, and it was absolutely terrible. Missed 2 full days of work. I mean, inoperable. I mean, you can't even stand or do anything. That's how bad it is. So be careful. If your kids come home with that stomach bug, make sure you wash up good and clean them up after you're around and all that, because my grandkids are the greatest thing in the world. The man, I love them to death, but my God, are they petri dishes when it comes to that stuff. All right, guys, have a great Memorial Day weekend. Don't forget to go out and watch our videos on YouTube and Jeff's Vegetable Gardening Containers, and on Facebook on Jeff's Gardening Tips, and Jeff's Gardening on Instagram, and at Jeff's Vegetables at Twitter. All right, guys, have a great weekend. Talk to you soon.